learn about point of view.
What's point of view?
Well, point of view is the perspective from which a story is being told. There are three main points of view: first person, second person, and third person.
What's the difference?
The difference is that in first person, the narrator is a character in the story, and the author uses the pronouns I, me, and mine. In second person, the narrator talks to you, and the author uses the pronouns you and your. And in third person, the narrator is a character in the story and is not a character in the story, and the author uses the pronouns he and she. There are three types of third person point of view: objective, limited, and omniscient. In objective, it is like watching a video. The reader does not know the thoughts and feelings of any characters. In limited, the reader only knows the thoughts and feelings of one character. And in omniscient, the reader knows the thoughts and feelings of all the characters. There are three ways to find point of view in your story: through grammatical evidence, the narrator, and the level of insight. The grammatical evidence is what pronouns does the author use. For the narrator, is the narrator in or out of the story? And the reader's level of insight, what does the reader know? Here are some example stories. We'll read them together and find the points of view. The first story is an excerpt from Thumbelina. There was once a woman who lived in a tiny cottage and had the most beautiful garden in the world. She was very happy tending her garden, but over time she grew sad. She had no children who could share her garden with her. She decided to ask the old witch in her village for help. What's the point of view?
Third person, limited.
Good job, Charlotte. How did you know?
The grammatical evidence, the author used the pronouns her and she. The narrator was out of the story, and the reader only knew the thoughts and feelings of one character.
Great job, Charlotte. Now we'll listen to the next story. This is an excerpt from George and the Dragon. So I set out for the Kingdom of Silence, as the Fairy Queen had said. As I approached the Kingdom of Silence, I noticed a change in the land. It had changed from lush and green to dark and desolate. It seemed as though the land had been crossed by fire. What's the point of view of this story?
First person, because the author used the pronoun I, the narrator was the main character, and the reader knew the thoughts and feelings of the main character.
Wow, great job!
Why is point of view important?
Point of view helps the reader to understand the thoughts and feelings of the characters in the story.
This is my book club book entitled The Other Side of Dark. What is the point of view in my story?
Well, let's see, Lexi. We can use our three ways to find point of view. In our grammatical evidence, a sentence in the story says, I have cried out in my dream. I have called, and ages ago someone answered. The author uses the pronoun I, so we know that the point of view is first person. We also know that the narrator is in the story, because the narrator is a character. And finally, the reader only knows the thoughts and feelings of the main character. Great job, everyone. Time for recess.